Well, welcome back, everyone. It's Lights, Camera, Action. It's Make Our World Your Runway. You know, this is the weekly show that interviews the most fascinating individuals from the world of modeling, fashion, beauty, business, and even the entertainment industry. And as always, we have a very exciting show planned for you today. But before we begin, we'd like to thank the sponsors and, of course, make a few special announcements. And the sponsors we want to thank are the Global Trade Chamber, 100 Successful Women in Business, Carlo Arbizo Photography, Lux Salon, Queen Beauty Network, the Tower Club, Royal Dames, and Vida Designs. So sponsors, thank you so much for making this weekly show so possible. And we also want to tell our viewers, remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that you can see all the shows from Make Our World Your Runway and Success Stories. And I highly recommend to all our viewers that you tune into Success Stories. This show features the most fascinating women in the world of business and community service. So from humble beginnings to successful entrepreneurs, these women will totally inspire you. And of course, get ready for some exciting conferences, speakers, and awards, as 100 Successful Women in Business and the Global Trade Chamber are going to come to a city near you. And the next city that will be coming near you is going to be Miami, Florida, the Doubletree Hotel and Convention Center in November. So we're calling all successful women in business. It's time to shine a light on your achievements. Nominate yourself or a colleague for a chance to be honored at the Special Awards Dinner Gala in Miami. So let's come together to honor the impactful work of women in business and community service. Now remember to claim the well-deserved award, and you need to be present in Miami at the Awards Dinner Gala to receive this prestigious award. So nominate yourself or a colleague for the 2025 Reception Awards ceremony. There's also going to be networking, conferences, business expo, fashion show, and of course, Make Our World Your Runway will be there and we will go live. Now for all the information, please visit our website at www.100swb.com. Now this is not only going to be women from the United States, but participants from around the world because it is an international show. Now, these shows do sell out. I've been to them. Unbelievable. So right now is the time to sign up. It is a free event, but if you want to be an exhibitor or you also want to be a speaker, there's information on the website with that as well. So once again, please go to www.100swb.com for all the information. And in regards to the 100 Successful Women in Business and getting an award, 3 years ago, I was also a recipient of that award. And I must tell you, it has opened doors for me, not only locally, nationally, but around the world. It's a very prestigious award. I've also been published in the most 100 Successful Women in Business award book. So ladies, please nominate yourself or a colleague. This is a very prestigious award, and I'm telling you, it will boost your career and boost your business. And now, once again, lights, camera, action, it's on to our show. And we have a very special and amazing guest with us today. And this is Dr. Sarkar. And she's more than just a scientist turned entrepreneur. She is a visionary on a mission to harmonize sustainability, women's empowerment, and cultural heritage. And the founder of Hitah Home Goods LLC, she brings a rare blend of academic rigor, creative spirit, and grassroots passion to the world of eco-conscious business. And she's a scholar's journey into social impact with a PhD in biology. She served as a faculty member at the prestigious University of Miami before choosing a radically different path. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to welcome this very wonderful and special lady. She can tell you all about herself, all about the products she has, and what she really is doing, okay, for women's empowerment. So let's welcome Dr. Sarkar to Make Our World Your Runway. Welcome.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for bringing me here. I'm Malancha Sarkar, and I grew up in a very small town in the eastern part of India. It was a coal mining town, and there was not much to do, so I used to watch my mother make a lot of artistic goods, handicrafts and all. And she used to also train village women in, in these kind of arts. So that stayed in my mind. I'll come back to that, okay? And then a few years down the lane, I joined a school, and that was an all-male school. 999 males and boys, and I was the only girl. And this was done because my parents were working, both of them, and they needed me to walk from the school home, and this was the school closest to my house. So they put me there, and as usual, I went there, and it was very challenging. You know, it was both emotionally and physically challenging for a girl to survive in a 999 all boys school. But then it was difficult, so I was doing well, but slowly my grades went down, and I cried and went to all girls school. So I'll come back to that now, okay, with all boys school, the impression that I had in my mind and what I'm doing now. It is all connected. So then I did my graduation, master's, and also PhD, and won a gold medal at the university. Then I went to Japan, worked on vaccine development, then raised my family a little, came to United States, basically in Miami. I'm here for around 26 years, 26, 27 years. Did research at University of Miami in cancer biology, cancer drug resistance. Then for the family reasons, I had to move, change my career a little bit and go to the teaching area, so that when I am out, when children are out, I am also out of the school. So, then I taught at University of Miami for almost 18 years. Then I took a voluntary, I would say early retirement, to do something which is related more closely to sustainability and women empowerment and financial independence. I started Hitah in 2022, trained some ladies back in India, village ladies. They're tribal, they would not even pick up your phone, they're that remote in the hills. So there I would virtually, and I personally went to them as well, taught them how to make 100% beeswax floating candles. Okay, so they now have a skill that they can use to bring money to raise their children well, education. So then I moved to the southern part of the India, where we also have another business, IT-based business, and there we are training women, providing jobs, making these floating candles and these incense sticks, okay, made of upcycled flowers. Now here is I'm connecting with my own experience of seeing my mother helping, training village ladies. So I am now picking up that. It is always back in my mind. It is showing up now. So this is, the village ladies have been trained to make these. So is the candle. Okay, now why is this woman empowerment in my mind? Because I went through that. Remember, in the school I was the only girl, and how girls are affected by all the things that happen around them. So now I know that women must be financially independent. They should be strong to raise a strong family. A strong mother can only bring up a strong child. So that's where I've come back to, okay. So a little bit about what we do with these incense sticks. All the factory, I'm the manufacturer, and in the southern part of India, our factory is located. And in southern part, especially, there is a town which is called Kanchipuram. It is a town older than 2nd century BC. Even Buddha walked, it seems, historically. From where Zen Buddhism, the person who had developed Zen Buddhism, came from that particular town. It's that old, ancient, okay? So there are a lot of temples. So there are a lot of flowers. So when there are a lot of flowers, there's a lot of waste. So before these wastes, it becomes waste, we collect from the events, temples, events like marriages. In India, a lot of flowers are being used in marriages, and they are dumped after 3 hours, things are over, it's done. We collect directly from the events, process them, and convert them into incense sticks. Okay, we have right now jasmine, rose, and lavender. New fragrances are coming. So in this way, we are reducing the waste. We are training ladies to make incense sticks, so they now have a skill to earn money. And in general, there is an economic development in that part of the town. Now, it's not about what I'm doing in India. I always consider where my workplace and my birthplace, they are treated equally. So now I brought it here. We are looking for people who can help me put in the market so that I can create jobs just like the way I create jobs in India. Otherwise, I would have just stayed in India. It's 1 billion people and I could have sold, but I brought in India. They will get help. Here it will get help. So women here should also get employment who are, economically, financially struggling. So this company is for women, by women. Okay, so that is where I am now. So a little bit about this product, which is new, because 100% beeswax floating candle is not available. We do have paraffin ones, and a paraffin comes from petroleum, crude petroleum. So 100% beeswax, this is time consuming, but it is good for general ambience. So these are floating candles. Each of these candle will burn for 2 hours and 10 minutes to 15 minutes. And these are put in traditionally in this brass vessel, which is called uruli. This is found in almost every house in southern India. So we put this here, we lit it up. Now it has water. So water is, first of all, we should understand the concept behind which we tend to forget. We have forgotten those things. So this is a vessel in which the 3/4 is filled with water. Remember, our body, I'm a biologist, right? So our body is made up of around 72% water, maximum. Water is an element of life, okay? And energy. We all have, without energy, nobody will. That's the primal source, okay, for us working. So we lit it, so this is the energy part, water, and then we also put flowers, small flower petals. Yes. They float on this. So this is the earth element, okay. So then you have air. Without air, this cannot keep lighting like this, right? It is lit, it's burning. So it is pulling in air. And then there is last, that is ether, that is space. We look solid, we appear solid when we touch, but we have space in our body. Mm-hmm. If you go into the molecular level, again, I'm a biologist, so you will find there's space. Space is difficult to show in a tangible manner, but without space, nothing can exist here without space. So this kind of signifies the whole 5 elements of life. That is the Eastern philosophy. So we don't make this, but with time we will do that. So this is also the ladies are making. So they are creating an environment in your home which is peaceful, stress-free, and fragrant. You see this? These are incense sticks, all made by women.
That is absolutely, oh my God. I mean, I just learned a lot of new things here today, and that is fabulous because there's a lot of women out there, even here in the States, that need to have jobs or need to do something. So you have given women a platform to learn something new and at the same time can be doing something useful, okay? And it's funny, you just spoke about energy, and a lot of people out there don't know that. We all give off a sense of energy, okay? And it's funny you should say that because my cardiologist said that to me last week. He said, what is it about you, he says, when you come into this office? He says, when I walk into the room, he says, I feel this, like this sense of getting hugged. He said, what is your secret? He said, because most people that come in here that know they have a heart condition, he says, it's like doom and gloom. He said, what is it that you do? And I said, well, you know what it is? I don't think about it. Because when I walk into the office, I go, hi, doc, how you doing? Okay? And most people won't do that. They'll go in there and they're just so afraid. And I said, I don't think about it. I said, I think about the positive things, which takes me to the next level. Whatever I have, I know I have. And even though my operation was back in 2007, it's in that rear window. It is behind me. So it's over, it's done with. I know that I have to keep an eye on certain things, but I get it out of my mind. I get up every morning and say, it is what it is, and let me keep going. So it's that positive energy. And you know, it's so funny because I find a lot of women from India are very, very positive. I have a director in India for my pageant, Dr. Ashata Prabhu. And her story was she always wanted to get into modeling and pageantry. And her father told her, if you go to college and get a degree, I will let you do that. And she did. She became a dentist, okay? And her husband is a dentist, all right? And when she fulfilled that, her father allowed her to model. She came into my pageant, and 3 years ago, she won the main title of Miss International World, okay? And she started in India called the International Glamour Project, where now she trains women to go into pageantry, into modeling, and it's become really a huge business there. So, and she sends me about 5, 6 girls every year to compete in the pageant. She sends girls on to other pageants. So she's been giving these women an opportunity to grow, okay? And it's wonderful. And I do find that women in India very much want to get into women's empowerment.
Yes, that is true, and this is not a recent trend. It has been there in every society.
Yes.
We have to make our own place, struggle, and women should support women, bring them up, hold them, and carry them along, you know.
Exactly.
So some of the things also, you know, the ladies, these are clay, trying to make it as natural as possible, the clay incense holders. And also this is a big hit actually. I have sold quite a few. These are biodegradable, made with flour, upcycled flowers, biodegradable car fresheners. Okay, so you find everywhere, you know, some hanging things that are may not be natural, but this is 100% biodegradable car fresheners. So this also the ladies are making. Of this, yes, we are training them, and some of them I train, you know, and doing. So this is our few products that are coming, that are there. The new one that will be coming shortly is a cotton yoga mat, designed by me only, and representing the very area or town from which all these have come. That is again Kanchipuram. So the temple motifs will be on those, so it's coming. And please support, you know, and help us and help the women around the world. Wherever Hitah goes, Hitah should help women.
What is the meaning behind that, Hitah?
Oh. Hitah it is a Sanskrit word, Hitah. Hitah means Hitah. So it means beneficial. So wherever it goes, it should benefit. If you can even go to my Facebook, not mine, Hitah's Facebook, you will see we go on putting information. Even if you don't buy, if you just read it, you will be enriched. You know, for how fragrance work, you know, what are the different mechanisms that India was actually a leader, centuries, at least 2,000, 3,000 years old.
Yes, they were.
So they knew how to make the incense from flowers. I mean, that art had kind of gone down a little bit, but it is coming up. I'm doing my part a little bit. And remember one thing, when a child is born, okay, the first connection goes to the smell, mother's body smell. That's the olfaction that helps. So it may not be that much evident to people, oh, taste is the one, or the eyes are the sense organs, but it is the olfaction.
Yes.
That works the first time. That's how you connect with your mother.
That's very true. My mother used to say that, believe it or not, because the Italians, going back to the days of the Romans, that's how they believed, okay? And it is the first connection that you have with the mother, okay? And if my mother was alive and walked in this room right now, you'd actually look at her and say, wait a minute, we were like clones, okay? We could have been twins. My mother would walk in the room and I said, no, that's Angela. I said, no, I'm standing behind her. I said, this is my mother. She was just a little shorter than me, but the same voice, okay? The same eyes. And everybody actually thought that we were twins. They never pictured us as a mother and daughter, okay, because of that connection that we had. And it was so funny because she could almost sense what I was going to do next, and I could do the same thing with her, okay? And I'll never forget when they had a ruling here in the States, okay, well, especially in New Jersey, where I was born and raised. In order to start kindergarten school, you had to be 5 years old by September the 5th. Well, my birthday was in November 21st. And my mother was afraid that, but it did happen, that I was going to have to start a year later. So they sent me to Rutgers University, okay, where a professor, you know, asked me questions, and he came out and he told my mother and my father. Now I understand why they were so strict. He said, I do not believe this. And my mother said, what's wrong? He said, she's testing on genius level. He said, for a 5-year-old, he said, she can have a conversation like a 10 and a 12-year-old. That's all my mother and father had to hear. You want to talk about clamps down. Because my father was always afraid. He said, she's that smart. She's either going to go straight and narrow or she's going to do something else. But it was just that my whole family was like that, okay? And I always have, still do to this day, that proverbial gift of gab, okay? I could talk to anybody. If a dog walked in here right now, I could start a conversation. But I've always been that way, okay? But you're right, that is the connection, okay? And you get it from birth, okay? And my mother and I always had a very good rapport. And the last several years of her life, she lived with me, the last 15 years. So, yes, it's very, and it's so funny how you talked about even centuries ago. I was watching a documentary, and, you know, everybody knows about Jesus Christ and the Romans and how he was crucified. Well, there's a gentleman, Bill Maher, who got into all of that, and they found out there was somebody like Jesus Christ millions of years before him. Same story, crucified and all. So you just don't know where things come from, okay? And I think if more and more people, like what you're doing, you're actually educating people to know what this is all about and to know how it can go forward and where it began. So I think if more and more people are educated on things like this, okay, it'd be more prosperous for everybody.
Yes. It's the distribution of wealth that is very important. It's not like me collecting wealth, but it is also distribution that will create an everlasting peace. Otherwise, there will always be a class difference. And yes, however people may not accept, or, you know, but I do feel women hold the key. Hold the key, because if you raise good children, if you are good, your children are going to learn from you.
That's right.
And
exactly,
that's how you make a strong society.
Oh, yes.
And it's like from the root.
And education is key, and that is wealth. A lot of people, when they think of wealth, think of money. But wealth is in a lot of different areas, okay? And if you're educated, there's your wealth, okay?
Nobody can take that wealth from you.
No, they cannot.
Education cannot take it. But it is not only like getting a degree. I have a very high degree, but am I using too much? But maybe, you know, some kind of training we had, and that might be helping. But these are made by women who are learning. These are skills which will leave them. It's not just a paper certificate. It is what the skill. You can make a living with skills.
Yes, you can, okay? You definitely can make a living. And I'll tell you why. My uncle, okay, was some artist, okay? And, you know, he was in construction, and during the winter months, they don't work. But the things that he did, the pictures that he drew, so in the wintertime, he used his skills to actually make money to support the family. He etched on glass. Now, my husband is an artist, but when he saw what my uncle did, he said, I do not have that talent. On glass, he etched the Japanese warrior and his wife. A lot of the places, okay, that sell pictures, they said they never saw anything like that. But that's what he did. He used his skills during the winter time. And I mean, his pieces sold, some of his pieces sold in the thousands. But we learned a lot from him. I watched him one day. In Hackensack, New Jersey, he drew a map. And what was great about him, my father was also an artist. He used to say, Angela, I have to look at a picture. My uncle just came right out of his mind. When they asked him to draw the map of Hackensack, New Jersey, he drew it in a matter of an hour. Out of his mind, the whole map. They made a mural on it in Hackensack. It's still there with his name on it. It was skills, and that's what he taught his two sons, okay, and his daughter, okay. My cousins, they're all artists. But he was absolutely amazing how he took that skill to the next level and was able to support his family during the time of construction that he didn't work. And then later on, okay, he got out of construction because he went into clothing, designing clothing, and a lot of stores would call him to design their stores before they open up. So he was something else. And that's why I appreciate you saying the skills, and that's made by women, okay, which is very important because when you think about it, and it's very true, and it's all about women's empowerment, you say, how many women out there really do have a skill today beyond what they do, all right? And that is one of the reasons why in my pageant, Miss International World, I always say our motto is we're more than a pageant, more than beauty, okay? Because we are a way of life for all women. We empower them through a crown. And now I have a book coming out that's going to be on Amazon that I was featured in. And they said our crown has been the key to success for so many women around the world. Because we've opened doors, we've given them opportunity, whether it's been in business or modeling or the entertainment world or whatever. It's just the fact that we are giving them more of an opportunity than they thought they even had.
You know, some women, like you had a very strong family support, and you know, I too had. Not many women have that support, but that is I will say blessing, a gift to have a family support. I do have a very strong support, so I'm able to do that. My husband, Dr. Pochi, Subbarayanar Pochi, is with me at every step. My daughter Bhargavi, my son Shubham Bharati, they always, you know, from behind you do it. Okay, this product is good, this product you need to improve. You know, they are constantly giving me reviews, and I take that very seriously, and that is helping me. But even if there is a woman who does not have a family support, we are here. You know, just Angela is here.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Maria. I mean, look at Maria. She started the 100 Successful Women in Business, okay, and that has really become so successful. I mean, like yourself and other women around the world with getting the award, and it's showing what women can do. I mean, and it's not only what you do, what I do, but when I went to England with them 3 years ago, I met so many women that all had different businesses, but were empowering one another. So it's an excellent opportunity, okay? And it's, you know, I always say networking, you never know who you're going to empower or who's going to empower you, okay? So that is the key. And just like you said, strong family ties. My husband is always behind me 100%. And he'll look at something I'll do and he'll say, why don't you try it this way? Or just take one little word and substitute it with this, and it'll make a big difference, okay? And he always said to me, he says, promise what you deliver and deliver what you promise, okay? He said, live by that. So, you know, when you have that strong family tie as well, it makes it a lot better, okay, to really do what you need to do. And I know if I didn't have that, I'd probably sit there and say, and I'm a very energetic person, but there's times where I need that little bit of encouragement.
Yes, sometimes we do need that support.
Yes.
But don't worry, even if you don't have family support, there will be people. If you are doing the right thing, there will be people around you. Somewhere they will come and they will help you. It works.
Exactly. But anyway, we have about 5 minutes left, so what would you like to tell our viewers, and where can they find you?
Yes, they can find me in the Vizcaya Garden Farmers Market right now. We can get from wholesalers like Sue and May. You can get it from VD Imports, Miami, and directly from us as well. You can, the website is www. What is the Hitah Home Goods .com. Okay, so you can get it from there. It's best if you can get it from the wholesalers. It's easy for you to go to get it. And my only thing is that dream something and take the juice. I would say the inspiration from your experience, you know, childhood experience. Something. Everybody has a story. Everyone. Just tap into that. Hold on to it, and you can do something.
Exactly.
There will be struggle. There will nothing is it. Believe me, I am also struggling. So everything, manufacturing, shipping, you know, everything. I myself go and stand, you know, in this heat. I'm doing, you know, so that people are aware that Hitah is there in the market.
Exactly.
So I'm doing. So dream big, dream, you know, and it is going to happen.
That's what I say. Dream big, and yes, there's always struggles. Okay, I'll be the first one to tell you that there's always a struggle, but you know what? Sometimes that struggle makes you stronger. But anyway, I want to thank you for being part of Make Our World Your Runway. I learned a lot today, things that I didn't even know. And I always say, no one knows everything. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think this was a fabulous show. I hope you really enjoyed it and really learned more about women's empowerment. And as always, we want to thank you for tuning in. And remember, next week we will be back with another fascinating show. So keep in mind, lights, camera, action. It's Make Our World Your Runway. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again.